Alright, so how are we doing, guys? We are into the transfer window now of West Ham. We've been knocked out of the World Championships with the United States, so we're going to get right into it here. We'll take one last look at our budget before we start doing any dealings. This is going to be a little live episode to see how everything goes with us. We're just going to get right into it, and you can see all the dealings that go on here. So as you can see, 13.29 million in transfer budget, 99,500 in wage budget, 71-29 split for now. Obviously, we can adjust that depending on the deals we want to try to pull in. So the first thing we're going to do is go look at our players that we want to offload, which I kind of talked about in the last episode, but we're just going to, obviously list them for transfer right away. And what we're going to look at here is, like I said, I'm interested in bringing in a higher rated striker who's a little bit younger, just a little better overall. So we're going to list Maiga. He's a good player for me. Did a lot of good work. He's pretty well rounded. But to be honest, obviously we could improve. He returned about 9 goals from 40 or so games, which we could do better there for someone to supplement Lacazette. Plus, I also want to get Benzia some more games. And if we move Maiga, that'll give us that option. So we're going to add him to the transfer list. We're going to add Vorsa to the transfer list because, like I said, I'm paying him $45,000 in wages, and he's really fallen to a second-choice center back behind Kalas and Tompkins. So no sense wasting him there when he's getting beaten balls over the top and beaten all over the place in terms of players. So we're going to add him to the transfer list. Let's take a look down through here. Redmond, Gilbert, Wilson. We have Vaste. We're also going to add Vaste to the transfer list just for the mere fact that, if we get looks at him, we get rid of him, we can bring in a very high-rated striker and also give Benzia more games because he'll be third rate, as well as give Del Grosso some more games because in about 5 or 6 games he played, he scored 3 or 4 goals. So he's someone that we could give some more games. We brought him in as a free agent last year. So Vaste is the hard guy to add just because of the fact that he scored so many big goals for us. He scored, obviously, right before this career mode started, that goal to get West Ham up from the championship. He also scored in the FA Cup semifinal to send us to the final. And he scored in the final when we beat Newcastle. So that's a huge guy that we're going to lose. And I'm also going to add Jallet to the transfer list. If we don't get rid of him, it wouldn't be too bad to keep him around as a backup. But like I said, he's age 30, he's decreasing. So we're going to add him and look to bring in a new right back. Going through, I think for the most part, that's pretty much it. We have a few guys that we could list for loan. We're going to list Eckersley. We're just going to list him for short loans because we only have 30 players. And if we can get rid of all these players that we've transfer listed, we're going to have a pretty small squad. So we're just going to put these guys out for short loans, get them a little play time, and then we can maybe loan them back out again in the January window. So we'll just get them out. We'll leave Leggett. Howard's already listed. Spence will need. Trotman we'll leave him. Ali we're going to transfer list because he's complaining about his playing time. He's content now, but he's actually been complaining about his playing time, which is annoying because he's like our 9th choice midfielder at this point. So we're going to go with that, and we're just going to advance a couple days, see if we get any offers here. We'll wait till about the 9th or 10th. If it doesn't stop by then we are just going to, we'll start making our own moves. And we get a note here, clubs showing interest in Bruno Martins Indy as a center back. I was looking at Bayern Munich, obviously interested, and a player has been sold. Weber has been sold, so that gives us 1.1 million to our transfer budget. And, we get a couple shockers, loans, leaves meet our demand. We have gotten rid of him so far. So now we're going to get into our short list and start making some moves. We're going to get as far in this transfer window as we can. So where we're going to start here is got a few players. Cresswell is the first one. Another guy that I had heard about from you guys was Jetro Willems. The problem with him is he looks fantastic, but he's only 74 at this point. Obviously, he's going to improve into an unbelievable player. But we're trying to challenge for Europe right now, and a 74 left back might not get us there versus Cresswell, the guy I've really talked about. 78 already, he's 24, he's mature. Plus, he's actually worth a little less, so hopefully we can get him cheaper from Ipswich. So we're going to approach to buy Cresswell. We're going to start with just a $6 million offer just to get the ball rolling. You see, he's worth 6.5, so they'll probably reject, but we're just trying to get the ball rolling. And now I'm going to let you guys take a look at what I want to be my big buy for the season, and that is at the striker position. If we get rid of Maiga and we get rid of Vaste, it's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's got that high work rate that I like, 90 finishing. He's a good header as well. Unbelievable shot, good ball control and dribbling, so I think he'll pair up well with Lacazette if we can bring him in. Plus, he's 25, so hopefully that'll make him a little cheaper than some of the other guys on this list. So we're going to approach San Etienne to buy. And the problem is we don't have a lot of wages at this point. He's worth 16, so we're going to offer them 14 and just see what they come back with. So these are the first two offers we're going to make before, when we see what is going on here. We'll also have to bring in a right back to replace Jalé if need be, so that's somewhere else we're going to look in a moment. We get a note from our scout, Steve Bamford, so we'll send him out in a minute. We've also gotten a transfer offer from S3E4 for Roddock, so we're going to take that. He's never going to fit into the side, and we'll just try to get a little money with him. We would have sold him last year, but he rejected a couple moves, which is annoying. You get the couple players that will do that. So we go to our youth academy. We're going to send the scout out real quick, Steve Bamford. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to take this scout. He's in England. We're going to recall him because I want to send Bamford out to England for 6 months. That's his, his good scouting area. So we're going to send him out to England for 6 months and hope he brings us back some gems. Because that'll help. If we have guys on loan, at least that'll help build up our squad if we can find some nice, solid 16-year-old players. So he's setting up the note. And as you can see, Roddock's transfer talks have broken down as they usually do. Let's see if somebody comes back to us on those couple of offers that we went for earlier. Ipswich, unacceptable. 8 for Cresswell is what they want. So we're going to bump that up to, we'll just go 6.5, see if we can get them. Actually, we'll go 6.7, see if we can get them maybe to meet in the middle somewhere. And we also get the note that Andy Martin is back. He's ready to scout some more. So we'll send him out somewhere else real quickly. We will send him to somewhere nearby. We'll try Scotland for 3 months. Why not? He's Irish. I haven't really gotten anything from him in Ireland. So we'll just send him out to Scotland, see if he can bring back anyone. Because I've heard Scotland actually is a pretty decent area to scout, surprisingly enough. So let's see if we get any response on that Aubameyang offer as well as any transfers. They come back saying they've set 22 for Aubameyang, which is, that's pretty high. We don't have the funds for that at this moment. Obviously, if we move our wage budget, we'll hopefully be able to bring him in, but that's something that we're not really trying to do at this point. So what I've actually thought is, let's see if we can maybe try a swap offer. Guys we want to get rid of, there's Vaztang, but let's see if we can get somebody that's a little weaker before money. So Jalé will be a good play because we'll send him back to France. I'm sure he would want to finish out his career in France. That's where he's from. We bought him from PSG, so that's someone we could go for there, as well as we can get rid of a little bit of wages with him there. So we'll try 14 and Jalé for Aubameyang. It's about 19 million, so that's a little less than what they want, but it's pretty close actually. So it could go through. As you see, England and Germany have gone through to the next round of the World Cup as well. I told you we'd keep you updated on that, so good for them to get through there. Let's move forward here. Hope we get some news back. Maybe we'll get through the Cresswell deal, and then we can make some more moves for other players. Belgium have bowed out. They beat the United States. My side in that. Argentina have also been out, so Italy going through. And we'll see what goes on there as we take a look. Italy must have gone through on penalties. You see the results in the bottom left. It was 3-3. So guys, let's hope this goes through. You see, they're interested in the deal, but the cash sum is not enough. So we're going to take a break there and see if we can get some. Eckersley, we got Birmingham wants him. Birmingham is still in here, so we're going to stall that and hang on, because I'm not sure if we want to give him up to Birmingham just because Cresswell has been stocked from Mainz, but we haven't had them counter us on that offer, so hopefully they'll come back to us on our 6.7. Let's go here and let's try to move some funds around, maybe to give us about 16 or so, just so we can offer. We'll get over 16 so we can offer 16 for Aubameyang. Go to our transfer negotiations. You see the Cresswell offer still in progress. We'll go here. We'll try 15 first, just to see if we can get them to bite on that smaller offer, because it'll save us money, obviously. So 18 plus Jalé, that gets them to about their 22 million evaluation of Aubameyang, which seems a little bit reasonable. And Ipswich have accepted our 6.7 deal for Aaron Cresswell. Not a lot of money for him, so that's fantastic to see. I hope that St. Etienne accept our offer for Aubameyang, or we're going to run out of funds for that. But we'll give him exactly what he wants. 3 years, 30,000, and that's a great signing for us if we can bring Cresswell in on that cheap. That'll allow us to move Wilson back to the center if we're going to get rid of Borsa as well. So let's hope we get some transfer offers here to allow us to move out. We get a transfer offer for Calas from Malaga, who also came in for Borsa quite a while ago. We're going to counter for, we'll say 23.5, because if they give us that, we can bring in whoever we want. I don't expect them to. It says his top is... actually, we're going to stall this Echoes League again, because I want to make sure if they are in the Premier League, then I certainly don't want him to go there, and they are. So I'm going to reject that one, just because I don't want him to go to a Premiership side. He's not going to play in our Premiership side. That means he's certainly not going to go. He's not going to play in Birmingham's side, which means he's just going to sit on the bench like he could do here, where at least he could offer us some depth as opposed to offering them some depth. So let's hope St. Etienne comes back accepting that. It's unacceptable. Still 18, which now we get an offer for Vaste from Osasuna. Let's go 6.5 for Vaste. He's valued at 5.5, so we'll see if we can get a little extra out of them, which will give us that little bit amount that we need to go to St. Etienne. Brazil have gone through and eliminated Italy, so Brazil, I believe that's the finals or the semifinals that they've made it through. Osasuna, they'll go to 5.5 for Vaste, so we'll counter them at 6.1, hoping they'll go there, and we'll see what we can get out of them. If they come back with 5.5 again, we might have to just take that to get what we can out of him, really. Cresswell has accepted the offer, so that's great. We'll get him back into the squad, or get him into the squad, should I say. So that's fantastic. Malaga, they don't believe he's worth that much, so that's fine for us. We'll get Cresswell into the lineup later as we advance here to the 20th or so. So we're getting a little farther in than I wanted without getting any offers made. We haven't had Borsa. Germany, as you can see, won the World Cup, defeating England. So that's a tough deal. We get a note here, competition for Danny Wilson. Well, it is, I guess, but Wilson will get a little more playing time in that center back role if we can get rid of Borsa. So we get a transfer offer here. They don't believe he's worth that much, and he's not going anywhere. So now we get an offer from Stuttgart from Maiga. We'll counter them for 8.5. If we can get 8.5 out of them for Maiga, I'll be happy, because that'll be plenty, and that'll allow us to try for Aubameyang with the Jallet counter deal. And then I'll get into what I wanted in terms of that. I'll show you what I wanted to make happen for our right back position. So they matched it from Maiga. That's good news for us. We won't be able to go through for that yet. And now we'll get into what I want to do for right back, because hopefully we'll be able to make that move. And what I wanted to do here is Desciglio is the guy I really want to go after. He's only 21, 76, but it doesn't look like we're going to have the funds for him, as well as all these other guys are just, they're too pricey to bring in. Hewitt's a little bit of a project. He wouldn't be available to start yet. So we'll bring in Desciglio, but what I want to do is loan him, because hopefully if I bring him in on a season loan, maybe we can get him with a future fee later in the season. We'll go with 9 to start with, because I looked at Milan's roster, and he's their second choice right back, which means so we don't have enough for his wages right now. So we will have to move that around first right now. Budget, we'll make enough for 50, because that's how much he has. And we'll try that 8.9. So we'll go to our short list. We will go for Desciglio on the loan, and we'll try to get him on a future fee of 8.5. Because if we can bring him in on loan, even if I have to go no future fee, I think with the way we'll finish this year and then the money I can bring in for next year, that will be huge for us. We can just bring him in next year with the money we have then, because we won't really need to add too much to the squad next year, I'm hoping, because of the development we'll have to our young players. So we get a transfer offer for Pozzi. We have 2 strong left backs, really. So Norwich wants him on a short-term loan, and they have actually just come back up to the Premiership. So we're going to reject that, because he's just going to hang out in Norwich again. He could play for us. I want some transfer offers from some lower league teams that will give them the opportunity to play down there. So we're getting up toward our first friendly here with Valencia. So I think once we get to that friendly, we'll stop this video here, and the next video we'll have the friendlies as well as up to our first real game, most likely in the transfer window. So we'll see what goes on here. The loan to buy offer they're not sure if they want him to be sold, so currently they're going to decline that player. Maiga's been sold, so we've gotten 6.5 back, which means, so we will go to our transfers. You can see a couple of the younger guys want to get into the team, so we're going to go look at our transfer negotiations here just to finish this up. We'll go to Aubameyang. We'll submit a new offer. We originally went 15 and Jalé, and with the wage budget we have, that would be just barely enough. So we'll try 15.25. Like I said, they wanted 18 for him, so that's a little low. But, you know, maybe we can convince them to go in on that. As well as we will look here at what negotiations we're in. The Desciglio, I think we're just going to go with no fee here. Go back. I don't know why I can't counter that. We'll go back, and we're just going to go no fee because I think we'll just bring him in next season. I just want to get him into the club. Right now I can't do anything with it, so I guess I have to let that pan out before. So that'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next episode, hopefully coming soon, because I'm just going to continue this as soon as possible to try to get the club sorted out and get us into the game. So I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Bye-bye.